Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing today? I think this is going to be Monday when you see this video. I think. Currently I'm recording it on little Mr. Maverick's birthday. He is in the middle of the day getting spoiled with his treats and things, huh? Aren't you? And he's been enjoying a little bit of a nap. I wanted to come on here and show you my first week of the Halloween make-along, crochet-along for Sirdar that I had showed you my yarn picks for, which are in this fall bag. We're getting totally in the mood here of fall and Halloween and such. The first, I did show you a picture in my last video. If I remember, I'll put a picture up in here of what the blanket looks like. But, oh, bye Maverick. He's like, Mom's talking yarn, I'm out of here. But the first week that they had us do the beginning of the bat squares and the beginning of the cat squares, which are, as you can probably see, the two corners, or the four corners, two corners and two corners. Different colors, which normally would drive me crazy, to be fully honest, just because I like things to match up. Like, I would have been okay with, like, I don't know, purple and green and purple and... No, I wouldn't have. That's a lie. I think I would have... I guess this is the better alternative than doing what I just said. Is having at least all four of the main Halloweenish colors. That's okay. I would have preferred having them all the same color. That's just me. That is just me. That's my, like, OCD and things, and that I'm, like, very muchly trying to get past and get over, and tell myself it's fine, you know, with stuff, which I've gotten a lot better over the years, but does it ever go away? I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, can you cure OCD? It's not like I have, like, a super heavy... Anyway, not the point. Not the point. But I do have organizational OCD. Anyway, I'm using worsted weight yarn. I chose my own palette. I do have a video talking about all of it, but I will flash it here for you if I can, because I know the white I've already put in a ball, so I don't want that to roll out. So that is my palette. I did stick an extra orange in here just because I found a floppy skein, and then I rolled the white into a ball already. I was pleasantly surprised. I've never used the bigger, like the pound plus or whatever of the Big Twist Value, and this is the only one I have, which kind of makes me sad now. But, like, I expected it to be more like Pound of Love, where... Yes, they say it's a 4, but it's really pretty thin. Maybe it's just because Big Twist yarn itself is, like, on the thinner side of a 4. I don't know. But it's pretty much the same weight yarn, which made me really, really, really happy. And I guess it would have made the blanket really, really, really wonky if I hadn't, right? Or if it wasn't, right? But it is what it is. Now, I will say with the worsted weight yarn, my squares are coming out bigger. I am using, I think Sirdar said they wanted you to use, maybe it was a G hook. I can't remember. I'm using an H hook. My trusty Susan Bates H hook. And I will measure again, but they wanted you to have 9 inches for the squares, and theirs is a DK weight yarn that they sent out in the kits. My squares are almost exactly 10.5 inches, so slightly bigger. I think Ella from No Catchy Name, I think she said hers were 12 inches. I think she might have said 11, but I think she said 12. And I don't know what size hook she's using and all that kind of stuff, but she's also doing worsted weight. But mine, maybe she crochets looser than I do. I don't know. I was always a tight knitter. I never, like, I guess I'm kind of a tight crocheter too. But anyway, trying to organize my table area while I'm talking to you guys. I probably should have already done that, huh? Okay. Let's show you the squares. So here's the first one, because with the bat, what they did was, this is the middle, obviously, or the middle. Yes, it's the middle. This is the body of the bat that's in the middle. And then somewhere down the road, they're going to give you the pattern for the 2 wings. Because I noticed, I think if they're sewn on, I don't know if they're going to be floppy and just sewn on here and flop wherever they want, which kind of seemed like what they were doing, but I could be wrong. But in the picture, I believe one of the wings are kind of up more and one of the wings are like in flight. But either way, that's, and one thing that I've seen, because they have a Facebook group for, you know, just people to show off what they've done, for asking for help, etc., etc. The only thing I've noticed with that Facebook group is, like, if I had shown off my actual color palette the way I did in the video, I think they don't want you to name the names of it or anything like that. Like, I'm sure you could be like, these are the colors I'm using, but they don't want you to talk about any yarn that's not the yarn from the kit, is what it's, I believe that's what it said in the rules or whatever, which is fine. It's their make along thing, do what they want. But I noticed that people in the group were having issues. I gotta try to find mine right here. The seam where theirs is, and I'll show you closer in a second, but the seam where theirs is, a lot of people are getting holes up, right? And they couldn't understand why, they did not like it, etc. Now, when we get to the cat square, it's possible that you could, like, kind of finagle it so the cat hides it, but you really can't here, right? Is that where my, okay. So as you can see, like, this is my join. This is my join up right there. I did not have that problem, and I can tell you why. So we're about to talk about it, but I just want to show it. And like from back here, you really don't see it at all, no matter which way you turn it. Like, maybe now that I've pointed it out, but I mean, I had to look for it, so I know it's not like super noticeable. Without giving the pattern away, like, I'm not gonna give you counts or anything like that, but the join, I will say the join is like it's not even specifically to this, so I don't think there's a problem telling you, but the way they have you do it when when you do your double crochets is, when you start out the row, you chain 3. Now, sometimes you can get past this by only chaining 2, and then it doesn't make quite the gap, but it still, in my opinion, at least the way I crochet, it still leaves a little bit of a gap. So what I do is I chain 2, and then that's supposed to count as your chain 3 in the pattern should count as your double crochet. I chain 2, forget that chain exists, and then I put a double crochet where the chain came from, like in that first stitch on the bottom row, or on the previous row. And then I continue. So, like, technically, let's say the round is supposed to have 50 stitches. Technically, if you count that chain, I'd have 51 stitches, but I don't count that. So when I join it, I don't join it into the top, like the second chain or anything like that. I join it into the top of the first double crochet, and that hides it. I don't know if that's, I've never in my life looked up an invisible join, but I've heard people in the group, like I saw people were mentioning to use an invisible join, and I don't know if that's the same thing or not. If it is, there you go. That's how you do an invisible join. If not, this is the Heather invisible join. But yeah. So anyway, that's how I got no spaces. Now right here, you're gonna, because this is where you're turning the circle into the square, so you have bigger stitches here. For the corners, that's gonna happen. But I did not try to finagle that at all. I don't need it to be a super solid blanket, but I also didn't like the way the join would be looking, so I decided not to do that. So here we are. So that is the first one, and my green is a little bit brighter than their green, I think, but I'm okay with it. I really, really love this green. It's the neon-y green. Well, go look at my color palette video. I'll show you all of them. But yeah, and a lot of people said they can't unsee Mike Wisniewski from Monsters Inc., which is pretty funny because now I like that idea. But yeah, so that's my first one. And then they had you do their orange color is tangerine, but again, I'm doing all the big twist values. So here's my 2 bats. And again, I don't think you can really see, like, if anything, it just looks a little more solid, which I much prefer to the Gap. Much prefer. So, you know, do whatever you want. If you're doing it, do whatever you want. And then for the cat you make completely, like, we have not made a body for the cat. We're just doing the moon background for it. So here is the purple moon. Now I saw that Cinnamon Stitches is doing this also. She's doing it with the kit. But she said she did 1 row by mistake. So she did like white, she did an extra row of white, so she just did 1 row of the gray, and she said she liked that better. So maybe if you're doing it and we want to try that, but I like this one for a couple reasons. One, just because I don't know, I'm trying to stick to the actual pattern. I don't want to say I never stray away from patterns, but I don't know, with some of them it just feels right to just follow it. But I understand why she did it. But also, I don't know, like, I feel like once the cat's on, you're going to really see that glow. Because when you look, like, a full moon might be even without the gray at all on a normal night. But when it's that spooky Halloween ambiance, you have that clouds rolling in and the full moon behind it, still silhouetting everything, you know, like bats and cats and stuff. I don't know. It just, to me, that's what that is. It's like that halo of the moon that's behind the wispy clouds. So I don't know. I just imagine this more Halloweenish looking, and that is probably just a Heather thing. But you know, everything in my brain is Halloween or retro. Like, you don't, or metal, I guess. Those are like my three loves. But yeah, so that's my purple one anyway. It's just suggesting that if you like the thought of doing the 1 ring instead of the double, you know, because I don't know. I know that I mentioned Ella. I mentioned Carrie Penny. I don't know if my other friend that I know is doing it is going to do it. So I'm not going to mention her yet. So nobody's like, oh, where's yours? Where's yours? Where's yours? And I know Erin from Crafting Kitty mentioned liking it and everything, and she said she was getting the pattern, but she doesn't think at this time that she's gonna do it. So mentioning the fact that she's at least like watching along, probably because she likes it. But see, and you can see my joint a little bit, especially like depending, I don't know how the angle is or whatever, like when it's flowing back and forth, you can see it. But again, I prefer that so much more than the holes, you know. But there's the black one, and I'm just gonna, since I said the black was the same size as the other yarn, there's 2 rows of the color on the outside, so I'm just gonna double check it and see if I'm right that it came out the same size. And yes, like exact same. So that's like the exact same, which makes me really happy. So there's my purple and black moon. And yeah, so that's week 1 completed. So I'm pretty happy. Oh, I love these color. Like, these are very, I think the blanket is called the Trick or Treat blanket, if I remember right. And these are very, just, I love that. I love that. And then we're adding in slime, and I'm a little worried about the middle part, the tapestry crochet looking Grafgen type of thing going on in the middle with the witch's cauldron. I have done single crochet type of, like, is that tapestry where it's just single crochets and you carry your yarn? I've done that anyway, whatever that is called. Like, at the time I just called it a Grafgen, so maybe that's all it is. Anyway, but it's this Fozzie logo when they just had black and gray, and it's, you know, a fairly sizable strip to, you know, but that was just me experimenting with whether or not I could graph it. I don't remember if I've done anything else. I've done stuff like filet crochet stuff that turns into, like I did that big dragon and stuff. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. We'll have to wait and see. But, I mean, I'll get it eventually. I'm just worried. Like, I'm worried with the single crochets that it'll be too tight, so I'll have to work on my tension just because I haven't done very much of it. Anyway. All right. I think that's everything, though. I'm not going to take too much of your time. And I'm trying to make sure in this 100 days of Halloween, because that's when this started, was 100 days. Wednesday was 100 days to Halloween. I believe. Yeah, it was, right? Yeah. Okay. I had that little inner monologue with myself. So I'm trying to do, I haven't made every single video every single day, and not every single video is spooky, I know, but I am trying to get back into the swing of things, and I do have some spooky things like coming up, at least like Halloween related or YouTube related or some such stuff. Maybe Halloween stuff is in the store between Summerween and early Halloween decorations. Maybe we'll go shopping. And I have that yarn order coming in that is Halloween yarn that I will show you. It said it was, yesterday I got an email that said it's been shipped out. Yesterday being Saturday the 26th in my world. It said it's been shipped out. Expected delivery date was the same day. And I was like, I don't think so. Like, no. Well, then today I got one that said it's on the way, and my expected delivery date is the 29th, which would be Tuesday, I think. So I don't know. We'll see when it gets here. When I know, you'll know. So, all right. On that note, I am going to let you go. I have movie marquee squares to work on, or I'm not going to have a movie marquee video by the end of the month. So I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.